Hello and everyone, welcome to TBC News. Our top stories. Campaigns continue with promises. Africa reiterates seat on UN Security Council. Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBC Online. Chama Mapinduzi CCM presidential candidate Samia Suluhu Hassan says national grid electricity project worth 307 billion shillings for supplying electricity from Songea, Tunduru to Masasi in Mtwara region will enable Mtwara region to have stable power supply. Addressing a campaign rally in Nanyumbu district, Samia says if elected for the next 5 years, her government will complete the project. Teddy Paranyanga has more details.
As campaigns for the general elections continue all over the country, Chama Mapinduzi CCM presidential candidate Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan is in southern Tanzania, and in the morning she was in Nakapanya, Ruvuma region. Then she moved to Mtwara, where she was warmly received. Addressing a campaign rally, CCM presidential candidate promises a solution to electricity crisis in Mtwara.
Tuna mradi unaitwa gridi imara wa shilingi bilioni 307.
We have a project called Gridi Imara, which is worth 307 billion shillings, through which we're constructing a power transmission line from Songea to Tunduru and on to Masasi, along with 2 substations. One substation in Tunduru has already reached 50% completion, and the other will be in Masasi. The goal of these 2 substations is to ensure that Mtwara has a constant supply of electricity without power shortages.
In Bomani, Masasi district, Samia explained some points in CCM election manifesto.
Tunataka kuiunganisha bandari ya Mtwara.
We want to connect the port of Mtwara with the port of Mama Bay in Nyasa through railway. Within the next 5 years, if we succeed, that will be another major project coming to Mtwara.
In another development, Chama Mapinduzi running mate Dr. Emmanuel Nchimbi, who is in Njombe region, says once elected, CCM will continue to strengthen the agriculture sector by increasing subsidies and infrastructures that will enable farmers to increase production.
Kipindi cha miaka 5 ijayo tunakusudia kuchimba visima.
Within the next 5 years, we intend to drill 150 water wells for irrigation. Large dams will also be constructed for irrigation, including the Ulembe and the Iguanyachanya dams. Additional modern agricultural services will continue to be improved.
He says CCM government will also improve road infrastructure. Dr. Nchimbi has concluded his campaign in Njombe and is heading to Iringa region. Teddy Paranyanga, TBC News.
And in Mtwara, the presidential candidate for Alliance for Tanzania Farmers Party, AAFP, Kunja Ngombale Mwiru, says if elected, he will ensure that crop prices from the southern region are reasonable. Addressing campaign rally in Tandahimba district, Kunja says youth aged 18 and above will be given motorcycles and power tillers.
Nawahakikishia bodaboda wote
I assure all boda that if you elect me on the 29th, you will be registered and given motorcycles free of charge. Anyone who wishes to engage in any type of farming, I've promised you will line up at the local street chairman's office and receive a power tillers free of charge.
Chama cha Ukombozi wa Umma Chauma running mate Devota Minja says if their party wins in the general elections, she will ensure that youth are employed in Mount Kilimanjaro National Park. Devota, who is campaigning for her party in Kilimanjaro region, says if youth are employed, they will be able to support themselves.
Chauma tukiingia madarakani tutahakikisha mlima Kilimanjaro unatoa fursa.
If Chauma comes to power, we will ensure that Mount Kilimanjaro provides opportunities for the youth of High Constituency by more than 100%.
Now, let us have a look at today's episode of Beyond the Ballot, whereby Caroline Maleo sheds light on the presidential candidate of the Tanzania Labour Party, TLP.
Kagera is a region that is found in the northwestern corner of Tanzania. It is a region that is blessed with fertile land. But in this land, 76 years ago, a man named Eustace Mbatina Rwamugira was born. A man who now stands as the presidential candidate for the Tanzania Labour Party, TLP. Eustace Rwamugira began his political journey at the time when Tanzania began to embrace political reforms in 1992, which opened doors to multi-party democracy.
I began my political journey with NCCR Mageuzi and the late Agostino Lyatonga Mrema. Later, after internal conflicts within the party, we broke away and established the TLP, where I went on to serve in different leadership positions within the party.
In this year's general elections, Eustace has stepped forward into the race to contest as a presidential candidate, carrying the hopes of his party, TLP, to lead the nation in the next 5 years.
This time, I felt there is something important I must do for my country if I am elected president.
One of his policies is improvement in the education sector.
Education must be accessible to everyone at all levels. In TLP, we believe education should be for all, from kindergarten to university. We also want technical studies to begin right from kindergarten up to the university level.
He also envisions a government that values and promotes sports.
Every school should have its own sports grounds that cater all kinds of games.
He says in his government, agriculture will receive special attention.
We have many educated young people who are unemployed and left idle in the streets. We want to allocate them large areas of land where can establish modern farming projects and create opportunities for them.
This is Eustace Mbatina Rwamugira, presidential candidate for the Tanzania Labour Party, TLP. Caroline Maleo, TBC News.
Now let's fly to the United States, whereby Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango has led a Tanzanian delegation at the opening session of the 80th United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States. The 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, under the theme Better Together, 80 years and more for peace, development and human rights, comes at a pivotal moment to renew global commitment to multilateralism, solidarity and shared action for people and planet. In other news, the Africa Mashariki Fest is organizing the Twende Zetu Butiama pilgrimage safari set to take place from the 26th to the 30th of September this year. The event is themed around Mwalimu Julius Nyerere's enduring legacy and values, with a special focus on promoting the adoption and domestication of the Kiswahili language across the East African community. Speaking during the Focus on This Week program, the group CEO of Africa Mashariki Fest, Dr. Kisembo Tendo, says the pilgrimage is designed to bring together participants, including ambassadors, leaders and youth from across the continent, to visit Butiama, the birthplace and final resting place of Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, as a way to honor his legacy. Dr. Kisembo further elaborates that the program will also include a special mass dedicated to praying for the late father of the nation. More details of this interview will be shared in Focus on This Week program, airing this Wednesday at 4 p.m. here on TBC 1. Tanzania Investment and Special Economic Zones Authority, TISEZA, has allocated more than 600 acres of land for industries in Nala area in Dodoma region, being efforts to make Tanzania industrial hub, increasing job opportunities for Tanzanians and improving nation's economy. Speaking after visiting the area, TISEZA Communication Manager Pendo Gondwe says the move aims at improving investment environment, urging investors to utilize the opportunity.
Agricultural opportunities are very important in the Southern Highlands because we have sufficient land for farming, but also a climate that supports a wide variety of crops. You can cultivate horticulture products, cash crops such as cocoa, coffee, maize, tea, millet, and avocados, among others. Therefore, an investor can decide to invest in agriculture.
In other news, despite some biased perceptions about women working in the border transport sector, new findings reveal that the industry has significantly improved their livelihoods, while also challenging the stereotype that border is a man's job. According to a recent study titled Border in Dar es Salaam Towards Sustainable and Secure Livelihoods, which set out to explore the factors that empower or hinder a sustainable transport industry, women are steadily carving out space for themselves in this once male-dominated field. The research highlights that many women border riders have been able to support their families more effectively, thanks in part to their strong budgeting and money management skills. Some participants reported that the flexibility of border work allows them to balance household responsibilities while earning a steady income, an important step towards economic independence and social inclusion.
Research in this male-dominated sector, women in transport workers, they achieved to make sure that their livelihoods are changed, but also they get a chance to be flexible. Because as we know, according to our culture, it was very hard for women to join in this sector. So we change the narrative, and also we were able to find out that most of the women, they were single mothers. So families, they were able to benefit from the daily earning, and also some women, they gave us the testimony that they were able to bring back their kids to the school, they were able to pay rents, and they were able to support their families. So this was a very huge achievement in the transport sector. And also we get to understand that according to the situation and also the mindset of the society toward these women about this job.
The research, which was conducted in Dar es Salaam by the Communication and Transport Workers Union of Tanzania, KOTU, involved a total of 150 border drivers, among whom 47 were women and the remaining 103 were men. The findings noted that although women made up a smaller share of participants, their presence reflects a growing interest among women in joining this traditionally male-dominated field. African Union member states, including Namibia, Kenya, and Sierra Leone, have reiterated that the continent's continued exclusion from the United Nations Security Council can no longer be tolerated. Some African heads of state and government delivered interventions during the African Union Committee of 10 C10 summit held at the United Nations headquarters in New York, United States. Here are more details.
The summit, chaired by Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio, chair of the C10, aimed to strengthen engagement between African leaders and key stakeholders in the ongoing intergovernmental negotiations on Security Council reform. For more than 2 decades, Africa has been demanding 2 permanent seats on the Security Council with full privileges, including veto power to ensure the continent is fully represented in global decision-making. Leaders emphasized that the UN's upcoming 80th anniversary presents a historic opportunity to address long-standing imbalances.
While the reform process continues, Africa should be proud to have sustained a unified voice within the intergovernmental negotiation since the inception of this process. As we prepare to submit the Africa model on UN reform, we call on the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council to lend their support to us, to stand on the right side of history, and to ensure justice for future generations. Africa is not asking for handouts. We are demanding our rightful place in a council that is tasked with the maintenance of international peace and security, a matter that greatly concerns us, our children, and our children's children.
Africa makes up 1/3 of UN membership and hosts the majority of peacekeeping missions, yet remains excluded from the Council's core decision-making. This, they argue, is not only unjust, but undermines the UN's ability to fulfill its mandate.
The UN was founded in 1945. Most of Africa had no voice. Today, Africa remains the only continent without permanent representation, despite African issues dominating the Council's agenda. This exclusion, a relic of bygone era, is a profound injustice. Decisions about Africa must no longer be taken without Africa.
The African Union, through the C10, calls on the General Assembly to act decisively. The reform of the Security Council is not a matter of convenience, but of necessity, essential for the credibility of multilateralism itself.
While Africa has remained resolute and unwavering in its demands, Kenya cautions that the same prevail should the continent's quest be considered.
Beyond asserting our right, we must be clear about what we seek and how to achieve it. Securing Africa's rightful seats is our common demand. But we must also be prepared to shoulder the responsibilities that come with permanent membership, including how we will choose our representatives. This is a delicate and complex undertaking, but also an opportunity to show Africa's maturity.
The C10 summit also marked the 20th anniversary of the Ezulwini Consensus and the CIRT declarations, the two landmark documents that laid out Africa's position for a more representative and democratic Security Council, where all regions hold an equal voice.
Now let's circle back to our previous story, which says the Africa Mashariki Fest is organizing the Twendeze to Butiama pilgrimage safari set to take place from the 26th to the 30th of September this year. The event is themed around Mwalimu Julius Nyerere's enduring legacy and values, with a special focus on promoting the adoption and domestication of the Kiswahili language across the East African community. Speaking during the Focus on This Week program, the group CEO of Africa Mashariki Fest, Dr. Kisembo Tendo, says the pilgrimage is designed to bring together participants, including ambassadors, leaders, and youth from across the continent, to visit Butiama, the birthplace and final resting place of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, as a way to honor his legacy.
As Africa Mashariki Fest, working together with the government of Tanzania and the government of Uganda, and the other stakeholders in the region, we are privileged to announce that our second edition of Twende Butiama Pilgrimage Safari is happening from the 28th to the 29th of this month in Butiama at Mwalimu Nyerere's. I want to thank the leadership of the United Republic of Tanzania, the Regional Commissioner of Mara Region, and other stakeholders, the family of Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, our own President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for the support And we invite all of you, 28th, special mass for Mwalimu Nyerere, 29th, dialogue. Most of the African ambassadors accredited to Tanzania and Uganda, Kenya, they have confirmed their presence. We want to go and sit and have a candid discussion where we take stock of what we have achieved, what is not happening, and how to move forward.
On that note, before we wind up the local news, let's have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TVC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Sports news up next. And in sports news, KMC head coach Marcio Maximo says despite today's 1-0 defeat to Singida Black Stars, his team performed well and mashed their opponents in every area. Maximo elaborated that KMC created several scoring chances but failed to capitalize on them, adding that the game was competitive and balanced. On the other hand, Singida Black Stars coach Miguel Gamondi expressed his satisfaction with the hard-fought victory.
That the game is very equal. If you account the chance that you have in the game, you have a lot of clean shots. You didn't make the goal. I disagree because we have some different situations. Last game and this game. This game for me is completely balanced.
I'm very happy. The performance of the team, I think we dominated clear all the game. We have the control of the ball in the first half, especially we play very, very good kind of football. We created chances, and the second half was more. We didn't create a lot of chances.
This was KMC's second league match of the season. They won their opener 1-0 against Dodoma Jiji, but this time suffered a narrow 1-0 loss to Singida. Yanga Sports Club head coach Roman Falls says his game plan is fully set ahead of their clash with the Pamba Jiji FC, confident that his players will secure all 3 points. Falls revealed that every tactical detail has been refined during camp training and believes his team is ready to deliver a solid win.
Important game, just like any game is very important. If you take the league, every game is 3 points, so they have the same level of importance when you look at them in that point of view. So obviously the start of the league is a way to set up something strong from the get-go, but ultimately the league is long. There's a lot of games to be played, and this game so the objective is always to do better.
In other sports news, Azam FC head coach Florent Ibenge has set his sights on collecting maximum points in every Tanzania Premier League fixture, starting with their home game against Mbeya City. Ibenge affirmed that he joined the club to bring major success, including lifting the league title, and has been working diligently to ensure victory.
All the games are really important for us, not only playing against Simba or Yanga. So this game is one of the game of the championship. So we are going to be really serious because all the games, in all the games, you can have maximum 3 points and minimum you can have 0, 1, or 3 points. So what we want.
That's it for sports. And now, before we wind up the news bulletin for tonight, let's have a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello dear viewers, my name is Joyce Magwata from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Now allow me to take through the weather update. During the night we expect cooler condition to persist over a few areas of the southwestern island with the lowest minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius expected over Njombe region. In terms of wind, we expect wind to flight speed of 20 kilometers per hour for Lake Victoria, Tanganyika, Rukwa as well as Lake Nyasa. However, the same scenario is also expected over the entire coastal belt. Therefore, TMA has issued advisory concerning period of large ocean waves expected over the northern coast. People conducting marine activities over these mentioned areas are advised to take necessary precautions. Tomorrow we expect Kagera to feature partly cloud condition, thunder showers over a few areas in sun period. While over the entire coastal belt we expect light rain showers over a few areas. In the rest part of the country we expect it to feature partly cloud condition and sun period. Now let's have the next 4 days weather forecast. Dar es Salaam we expect it to feature light rain showers on 27 and 28 of September 2025. While Dodoma we expecting mainly partly cloud condition and long sun period. Weather over Mbeya, generally we expect a cooler condition to persist over a few areas. Mwanza region we expect a partly cloud condition, thunder showers over a few areas in sun period for the coming 4 days. However, over Kilimanjaro we expecting mainly partly cloud condition and long sun periods. Morogoro region we expect it to feature partly cloudy condition and sun periods. And the same scenario is also expected over Arusha region where mainly partly cloudy condition is expected. Dear viewers from Tanzania Meteorological Authority, that is what we have for today. Thanks for watching and have a good time.
That is all we have for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Faida Gaga. Good night.
Unanga